All right, shall we try this speed check then? Let's see if what any other things that we have to talk about for 1 minute. Bishop, I will let you go first. Take it away.
Okay.
You can
All
start
right.
whenever
So
you're ready.
my good cop speed check is Graham and Matt. You guys are the best. You guys have supported me from episode one, as Graham usually does. You put my ad on countless times. It surprises me every time. And I put you guys in my bad cop speed check because I'm not going to be so nice later on in the episode. Also, Roman Reigns, I'm a huge fan. He's been doing phenomenal work. Uh, the episode they had of SmackDown was just incredible performance without having a match, and to be able to capture the essence of viewership without putting on a match in today's age is just remarkable. So I'll let the other 15 seconds go. That's all I got for good time.
The rule is it's a maximum of a minute just to stop Matt letting the episode go on for too long. So you don't have to go. For the devil's advocate, you got to try and nail it exactly on 20 seconds to finish. But for the speed check, it's an inequality. It has to be something that is less than a minute. So that is perfectly okay to go ahead and do that. Matt will probably try and steal your 15 seconds so he can have some bonus time knowing him. But we'll try and rein him in a little bit. Unfortunately, I got a few little technology issues right now. Okay, all right, I think I sorted it. All right, I'll reset, and then I'm going to start as well. All right, my good short moments are the AEW Kenny Omega versus Rey Fenix match. Now, Dave Meltzer actually gave this a 5-star rating, which was definitely a bad cop moment because it wasn't that. It was certainly a very good match, but really it was the finish afterwards. We had Moxley coming into the ring. We had him cutting a promo. We had the Good Brothers come out to defend Kenny Omega. We also had the Young Bucks come in, and wow, what a finish. We had the Too Sweet in the middle of the ring, and it felt like I went straight back to 2000 watching WWE. I am really excited to see what happens afterwards as well. I'm still excited when Sting comes in. Matt, I know you don't like it. I know you don't want to see him wrestle. I love it. Every time he comes out, I still get super excited, so it's still good cop. Myron Reed versus Leo Rush. What a fantastic match on MLW. Leo Rush's debut on MLW, and he took the middleweight crown. I'm sure we'll see a replay for that. And way too late for this one, but I finally got round to watching on IWTV Camp Leapfrog Christmas Trios. It is absolutely brilliant.
Bang.
I will use the full minute.
Bishop, I'll say this for you, okay? Graham, Sting, no. Just no.
You didn't get excited? You didn't watch AEW, so you have no idea what I'm even talking about.
I know. I have watched it. I cringed at the whole Bullet Club thing. I cringed at it. Because, literally, I know this is good cop, but someone actually generally put up on Facebook the picture of them doing the Too Sweet, and they said caption this in one word.
So is this a word we can use on our podcast?
Yeah. Snore.
Oh, come on. That's a WWE mark right there. It was a great moment. It was so cool to see.
The Bullet Club has been done to death.
Perhaps if you watch New Japan, it has. I didn't watch New Japan. I've heard about it, so I'm excited to see it on AEW. I want to watch next week now. I'm not so excited about watching Raw next week, but I am excited for watching AEW next week.
The Bullet Club basically is what NWO was.
Yeah.
But the modern version of it, basically.
I understand what a faction is. I'm not totally dumb.
No, I was explaining to Bishop.
Oh.
No. I know. No, I'm fully aware of the Bullet Club, especially this iteration, because, that was the full I hate WWE marks over the last, I don't know, because I've been watching for 6 years. I didn't know who AJ Styles was until he showed up in the Rumble. Okay. So this particular version of the Bullet Club, I heard who they were adjacently because Finn Balor and AJ Styles both left these particular guys. And I'm sorry, but you can't compare them to the NWO because the NWO had, at least when they first started, 2 legitimate world title holders who drew a shit ton of money, and another guy who I think a lot of people agree should have held a world title in Scott Hall. He never did.
How he never held a world title is beyond
And
me.
there was an amount of charisma inside the NWO that does not exist with the Bullet Club. Yes, the Good Brothers can pull you in with something, but I'm sorry. The rest of the Bullet Club, good luck. You guys can have it. There's nothing special about it. And they showed up to beat up Jon Moxley, right?
Mm-hmm.
What 4 people are showing up to help Jon Moxley?
He
I
sets
can't
that
name
up
him either.
himself. He's the lone wolf. He does it all by himself, so he wouldn't want it any other way, and he'll take the punishment for that. I will say that I thought AEW did a better job in one night than WWE did with when they had AJ Styles, and they could have run with it, and they chose really not to do it the proper way. I'm also saw, and I don't know if it's true, bonus good cop moment. Apparently, the WWE offered that desist from using the Too Sweet thing, and they're going to basically make them pay $150,000 if they use it. So it looks like Tony Khan's just going to pay it anyway. He can afford it. $150,000 for him. That's a great FU to Vince. I really like that he's going. If that's true, if that story is true, I really like that. Yeah, I'll pay the $150,000. I don't care. We want to go with this.
I knew I liked you, Bishop. I knew I liked you.
I knew I was going to be in. I was hoping Mrs. TW Takes might be on this one, just so I might have somebody who I could ally with, because I knew
she's
you would go together.
making sure the kid is safe.
We've got a
Matt,
bromance building.
1 minute. Go ahead. I'm going to try and get you off. I'm going to try and make you forget that you're trying to mock my points. Go ahead.
Okay. Obviously, Legends Night was on Raw this week. I loved seeing most of the Legends back. I especially liked seeing Mickey James turning down Angel Garza. Teddy Long doing his Undertaker tag team spiel. That was a nice throwback. Another huge win on Raw as well for Lucha House Party. Fantastic to see them. Hopefully they're going to end up getting a tag team title shot. Omos kicking the guitar away from Styles' head at the last second. That was really good timing. I loved that. Ripley locking Dakota Kai in the locker during the match. I thought that was brilliant. That was genius. O'Reilly and Balor. Oh, what a match. What a match. And an abdominal stretch as Balor's new finisher seems strangely appropriate for a man with the best ab in the business. And obviously down here as well, Gonzalez, because I think she has literally just proven herself to be the best woman on NXT.
Oh, what a surprise. A whole minute of just positive WWE stuff. I don't have anything to add. Unless you got anything to add, Bishop, we're going to move on to some bad cop moments.
Well, if I before I hopped on with you guys, I dropped my episode with the NXT recap, and I talked pretty highly of the O'Reilly Balor match, kind of in the same context of not just the abdominal stretch as the finisher, but how they told the story to get there. I thought it was a perfect display of in-ring wrestling. So cheap plug, but check out my review of that.
I'm pretty sure we'll have your commercial later in the show as well. I think you should be right.
Hang on, Graham. Before we do move on, I want your serious opinion on this. Do you think it's really, really cool that the King of the Abs is using an abdominal stretch as a finisher?
I don't think I even watched NXT this week, so I don't know. I think I might have watched the top 10 moments, possibly.
Well, that was the top 1 moment.
Perhaps I didn't watch it then. We said we weren't going to talk about certain things. There was I watched kind of a lot of CNN over the middle part of the week, so I might possibly have missed it.
That's fair.
So go ahead. You've already done this once, so you know
exactly how it works. Before speed check starts, I want to let you guys know.
We're not done with this yet.
I disagree with you. I completely disagree. I love Adam Pearce being the opponent, because it's not about the match. I mean, I'll contradict myself a little bit here, but I said earlier that give me a good match, I'll watch it anytime. But what Roman Reigns is doing, he's bringing you in by telling just the story, and the match is actually secondary. And what Roman is doing right now, I mentioned on my show, he started out as the tribal chief of his family, the Adewale family, but he's trying to be the tribal chief of the WWE family too. And part of doing that is going to have to take out these leadership roles as well. He told Adam Pearce that he violated what Roman wanted. So if you do that and you get in the way, there's consequences. And that's what Roman's all about. So Roman is telling the story perfectly. And for Adam Pearce to be the next opponent, it has nothing to do with the title. It has everything to do with Roman Reigns. So if you're going to buy into Roman Reigns, you have to buy into his story, not necessarily who he's facing. And the caveat may also be every person that he's gone up against, he's allowed them to get out of the scenario by acknowledging him as the tribal chief. He could also do that with Adam Pearce, but you got to tune in next Friday to figure it out. You may not get that on the top 10, but
it is very debatable whether I'll be watching next Friday.
No, you won't.
I'm not impressed. Top
You
10,
won't.
That might be as far as I go.
Said the man wearing the AEW shirt.
You were a little bit late today. We talked about the fact that I knew this was going to be a very WWE heavy show today, which is why I thought I'd better at least have some AEW on just for a little bit of balance today.
So my bad cop speed check is matches against champions when it's not for the title. I didn't mention the Hurt Business on my podcast because they both matches involving the Hurt Business were against opponents not for the title. They lost in a way that made them look not mentally in check for what they're doing. And these guys are champions. They're not built to be strong. They lost in goofy ways. It wasn't for their title. So now we have to see the match again and take the champions as more legit. Stop having matches against champions, non-title, and having them lose. It doesn't help anybody. It makes your champions look weak, and it draws the crowd away from wanting to see it again. Lost my train of thought. That's all I got.
I'm not a big fan of the Hurt Business, I got to be honest. But they're not doing it for me, really. I'm not really a big Bobby Lashley fan. I think that's probably a big part of it.
He had the charisma of a lettuce.
Well, they spent so much time trying to get us to buy into the Hurt Business. They all get titles. They show us that. They're doing the thing with Cedric Alexander to show he's got dissension before they even win the title. But now that you have the titles on them, you're now taking that steam away that you tried building, especially with them losing into some mentally and physically weak ways. It's pointless.
All right, Matt. Sounds like you don't need a minute, but use as much or as little as you would like, sir.
As we mentioned, I initially wasn't keen on the idea of Adam Pearce being in the gauntlet match itself because I wasn't aware of his backstory about being a 5-time NWA champion, about having held all of these amazing championships in the past and everything. And let's face it, he's a decorated champion. Reason why it's my bad cop section because, as Bishop said, it with Roman is about the story. And even if he ends up kicking Adam Pearce's ass at Rumble, it will still be the story getting there. I'm annoyed that WWE at no point until SmackDown mentioned that he's a former NWA champion. I didn't even know he'd wrestled until SmackDown, which is bad.
What a surprise. You had no problems filling a minute. Yeah, no, that would be... If they'd have mentioned that he was a wrestler and he would have been a little bit more credible, I would have been okay with that. But the fact that he wasn't played off as that at all, and it was just a character there, I think was a serious omission as well, Matt. I would agree. It's very rare, but I will agree with you on that point. Okay, hold on a second. Luckily, I got editing duty. All right. For my speed check, I wanted to talk a little bit more about MLW. Mads Krugen of Contra and Alex Hammerstone were in the main event. It was really hard hitting and went to the outside a lot, which wasn't surprising. They actually both got counted out. And that was it. That was the end of that. They were like, oh, we ran out of time. We got to go. And you didn't see anything else for the end of that match. Now, I don't understand that for MLW. If you're on a YouTube show, I'm sure you can get away with that. Perhaps they are on another channel as well, but I did not like the finish for that one as well. Jay White's contract with NJPW is apparently up. The reason it's a bad cop moment is Blade Job podcast is not on. Blade Job Show podcast is not on right now. I'd really like to hear what Ryan has to think about this. There is talk he could go to WWE. I do worry they would actually screw him up, and I think that could be a bad thing for them. And wrestling fans in India getting notifications today they can no longer receive the WWE network. They sold it to a different company, so if you're a fan in India, bad luck. That's it for me.
That is quite sucky for India.
Yeah, they sold it to a company. It looked like it was Sony, but I didn't even know they were a TV company, unless it's SONY and it stands for something else. But yeah, so I'm going to guess they're going to be paying through the nose again. I'm guessing it's going to be like the old days where you have to pay for each event that you want to see rather than having all the access to the network. But yeah, a country with 1 billion plus people, we already talked about it a few weeks ago. It sounds like they're going to have an NXT India as well. You'd be hoping they'd be trying to build that brand, but that sounds like, to me, that sounds like a step backwards from the viewer's point of view anyway. So bad for the viewers. But first of all, would you like to give your devil's advocates, or would you like to receive your devil's advocate?
So I'll be a team player because I've been dreading the devil's advocate. It's made me more nervous than anything else, mostly because I can't formulate my point in 20 seconds. But I actually came up. I came up with one for each of you. So as for being a team player, I'll take both. Give you one, do another one, and then give one. I have no problem with that.
Okay. All right. Matt, do you want to do yours? You said yours was a bit of a softball, so I think that would be fair that you gave yours first.
The best thing that you can do is have a former NWA champion win the Royal Rumble title match.
Absolutely. He's a 5-time NWA champion. There's nothing wrong with being a 1-time WWE champion, even if it is the Universal title and not the proper one. So beating Roman Reigns is a bigger issue than him actually winning the title.